A midnight shadow creeps past the dying embers of a tribal fire, clutching a heavy bundle wrapped in thick mammoth skin. Inside lies 20 pounds of pure, unrefined, highly restricted volcanic obsidian, smuggled across 3 territorial borders without the tribal council's stamp of approval. One wrong step, one snapped twig, and the penalty is not a prison sentence. It is a swift, bone-crushing blow from a granite war club. The dark, damp caverns of the Stone Age are alive with the whispers of an underground empire. Beyond the hunting and gathering lies a cutthroat world of prehistoric black markets, illegal trade routes, and high-stakes smuggling rings that dictate the survival of the fittest. For generations, mainstream campfire stories painted a picture of simple clans peacefully sharing berries and chipping flint in harmonious isolation. That picture is a complete illusion. The Stone Age is locked in a fierce, undeclared economic war. Controlling the resource means controlling the continent, and where there are strict tribal borders and high resource taxes, the criminal underbelly thrives. Trafficking contraband across treacherous glaciers and predatory-infested swamps is the most lucrative and deadly profession on Earth. The entire prehistoric economy runs on raw materials, and the most coveted asset on the black market is premium-grade volcanic obsidian. Regular flint is fine for the average hunter, but obsidian provides a razor-sharp edge that slices through megafauna hide like melted fat. Because the volcano zones are fiercely guarded by elite, aggressive mountain clans who enforce a total monopoly, a massive smuggling network has emerged. Sneaking 70 pounds of razor-sharp volcanic glass across a mountain range while wearing nothing but a loincloth is an absolute logistical nightmare. Yet the profit margins are too high to ignore. A single block of pure obsidian can buy an entire winter's supply of smoked meat and a prime cave dwelling with a south-facing view. Beside tools of war, the luxury black market is booming with forbidden status symbols. Rare, vibrant seashells harvested from distant, hostile southern coasts are trafficked thousands of miles inland to landlocked northern chieftains desperate for prestige. The possession of an unauthorized exotic shell necklace can spark a localized tribal war. Furthermore, the illegal trade of non-local herbs, hallucinogenic roots, and restricted mammoth ivory operates completely in the shadows. Every tribe wants what their local landscape denies them, and the smugglers are more than willing to provide, provided the buyer can pay the steep price in untraceable, high-value pelts. Operating a smuggling ring without a single piece of paper, written language, or wheel requires pure, unadulterated criminal genius. The logistics rely entirely on a network of hidden caches buried deep within the wilderness, hollowed-out trees, underwater river caves, and shallow graves marked by specific arrangements of animal skulls. Smugglers move exclusively under the cover of a new moon or during blinding blizzards when the tribal border guards are huddled tightly around their fires. They don't have camouflage gear. Instead, they cover their entire bodies in wet mud and rotten vegetation to mask their scent from both rival human trackers and tracking wolves. The routes themselves are grueling, vertical death traps. To avoid the heavily patrolled, easy-to-walk valley paths, smugglers scale sheer cliff faces and navigate treacherous whitewater rivers on makeshift, untethered logs. Carrying heavy boulders of contraband flint while swimming across a river teeming with prehistoric crocodiles is a common occupational hazard. Trust is non-existent. Handshakes are replaced by a tense stare and a raised spear. If a deal goes south in the deep woods, there is no negotiation, no appeals process, and absolutely no witnesses left alive for the vultures to find. Where there is a black market, there is rampant white-collar crime, Stone Age style. Rogue craftsmen have discovered that by heating low-grade chert in specific fire pits, they can alter its color to mimic ultra-rare, high-quality jasper. These fraudulent rocks are traded to unsuspecting tribes at premium prices. By the time the buyer realizes their luxury spear tip shatters on the first impact with a deer's rib cage, the traveling smuggler is already 3 river valleys away, enjoying his ill-gotten gains. Inflation and currency manipulation also plague the underground economy. Since there are no coins, the baseline currency relies heavily on wolf teeth and bear claws. This has led to organized grave-robbing syndicates who dig up ancient burial grounds just to strip the ceremonial garments of their valuable decorative teeth, flooding the market and devaluing the hard-earned wealth of honest hunters. The tribal elders attempt to regulate the market by marking approved goods with specific ochre paint symbols, but within days, the smugglers master the art of forging the tribal seal using identical clay mixtures, keeping the illicit economy flowing perfectly. The escalating tension between the smuggling syndicates and the sovereign tribal alliances inevitably leads to explosive, bloody conflict. In a desperate bid to reclaim control over their borders, an unprecedented coalition of 7 northern clans forms the first-ever Grand Enforcement Task Force. Armed with heavy, spiked clubs and long-range throwers, hundreds of elite warriors establish a massive blockade along the critical Alpine Pass, the main artery for the southern Obsidian cartels. The climax unfolds during a catastrophic autumn thunderstorm. A massive caravan of independent smugglers, carrying a record-setting hoard of contraband fur and exotic coastal salt, walks straight into the ambush. The valley erupts into chaotic, brutal combat. Rocks fly through the torrential rain, spears pierce the thick fog, and mud turns crimson. Smugglers scatter into the treacherous ravines, abandoning half their fortunes to save their skins. It is a spectacular, high-speed foot chase through sinking bogs and crumbling ridges, where a single misstep means falling hundreds of feet into a rocky abyss. While the tribal coalition celebrates a historic seizure of contraband, the surviving syndicates are already mapping out a new, even more dangerous route directly through the territory of a neighboring cannibal clan. The market never stops. This relentless, illegal hustle is the hidden engine behind human advancement. The mainstream view suggests that early humans migrated purely out of curiosity or hunger, completely ignoring the fact that many of the earliest transcontinental trails were blazed by criminals running away from tribal law or looking for unmonitored routes to drop off contraband. The desperate need to outrun border guards and protect valuable cargo forced the development of lighter tools, better waterproofing techniques for leather bags, and a deeper, more sophisticated understanding of foreign geography. The black market did not just move goods, it inadvertently moved ideas, languages, and genetic diversity across impenetrable cultural barriers. The very networks designed to cheat the tribal system became the foundational highways of global connection. The Stone Age was not a simple era of primitive grunting and basic survival. It was a complex, dramatic, and intensely competitive arena where the shadows held the real power, proving that the desire to beat the system, trade the forbidden, and make a quick profit is as ancient as humanity itself.